about the storm. And good evening, Yanis. We're very happy to see you. And Shabbat Shalom, Felipe, and good months to all. Before we speak about the storm, I would like to just open with an egg. Yes? Did you have the experience of maybe once in your life to make a scrambled egg or egg in a pan? Did you have this, or even to make a cake, to bake a cake but using eggs? Did you have this experience, Cindy, Felipe, Yanis, our friend from Jamaica, Patricia? Did you have this experience? Even to make a cake, we also need eggs sometimes. We need to, how do you say? I don't have the verb at the moment, yes? But to foam the eggs, yes? So we need eggs. What happens? The egg is like has an oval shape. It's one egg, yes? It has an oval shape. Once you click, yes, with the egg on a surface, there's like little crack and then it opens and you open the egg, whether it's on a bowl before you bake a cake or whether it's directly on the pan. You pour the content of the egg on the plate or on the pan or in the bowl, and we are left with two chapels, yes, with two palms, with two capes of the egg, right? You have this experience, you see this in front of your eyes? Do you? Yes. Now, it used to be a complete egg. Once we use it, we open it, so we have two. Now, take those two halves and instead putting them together like a complete one egg, opposite, in your mind even, the two sides of the egg or those two poles, yes, like back to back. Do you see this in your mind? Yes, instead of using the cord to unite them, just opposite and back to back. Yes, and antagonize them. This is what the brain does. Before we speak about the storms, this is the work of the brain. Splits everything into two and opposite them or antagonizing them. Do you see this picture in your mind of the egg? It's a great example. It used to be one. Once you break it, you opposite, you negate it. Yes? And this is what the brain does. All the time, in a mechanical way. We don't have any control whatsoever. No one has any control about it. This is how it goes. This is how the machine goes. Yes, break it and negate it. Break it and negate it. Yes, yes. The egg. Yes, it's true. It's true. Yes, it's excellent. This is what the brain does all the time. No one has control about it or upon it because this is how it is programmed or planned or planted, using the sage's words, planted. This is what the brain does. And it gives us the sense that there's a world and there is me. Just yesterday we had the space to visit the bay. For there was a piece and there was a little toddler. He was shouting, not shouting, but speaking loud, Ani, 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 meaning me. I did not see the child, I just heard it. Between 2 to 3 years old, they have already the sense of me and mine, and so this is what the brain does. Splits, first of all, splits into two and then takes the two and, how do you say, polarize them against each other. So this is a mechanical activity. No one has any control about it. And it always gives us the sense to all of us because it's working 24/7. As long someone is alive, this is how, until the last moment, this is how it is. Gives us the sense that there is the world as an object and there is me as a subject. It also changes, but let's make it simple let's say for the sake of illustration, there's the world and there is me. Why this example or the story of the egg? Because this is how the brain works. Now, to the question of the storm, there's a storm outside. Is the fact that I'm sitting or anyone sits behind a very, let's say, good built home manage to disconnect us or protect us from the storm? Yeah, maybe if a tree will fall from the storm and there's a good roof and good building, if even the tree will fall, it will not break the house. But, and here's the big but, the storm is moving. We are the world, and it moves through us. The wind or the storm moves through us because inside of us there's emptiness. We don't tend to see this emptiness. The eyes tend to see the plastic puppet around this emptiness, hands and feet, and there's a movement and colors, and people are dressed in such a way, dance, move, ride bicycles or so. But inside there's emptiness. So once there is a storm, it's also inside of us. We are like a flute. The flute is empty. You can ask what makes the flute play. The wind moves through the flute or flow of air, and then the flute is like taking sounds. So we hear sounds. We are empty. We are like this flute. And when it's storm or when the wind is whistling, so it's whistling through the flute, which is us. And we have nothing to get. How do you say? We have this tendency. The brain has this tendency to translate to us what is happening. But first, before the brain translates to us the event, so to speak, the brain claims, yes, that he knows what is it about, and it immediately this the speech of Eve, I bought a man from God, is not so much the baby of giving birth, but I know I have the sense of speech, I can explain it to you. This is what cognition does all the time. And the brain immediately will tell us that we have an inner turmoil, that we have an inner storm with us. And we have those thoughts that come in a turmoil, in a stormy way. They bring all kinds of issue, repeating. If you will follow the stormy mood that is crossing you, the stormy state, if you will follow the topics, it's always again and again the same topics. It's always about you. It's always what happened about you, to Jill, to Cindy, to Felipe, to Yanis, to Patricia. Yes? You cannot be this is, if you follow it very, very clearly. If someone has a storm, let's say, or stormy weather in himself, It's never about the neighbor from the 10th floor, which he did not see, he doesn't know that he exists. The storm is always evolving about certain issue, which is me. You cannot be in storm about someone that you don't know that he is even exists. In Bulgaria, in Romania, in Sweden. So you can track the activity of the brain because it's always what is the flute of the brain. It's always about me. What is me? There is a date of birth. There is a name. There is a story. So the brain will always weave a mythology about the me. And if it's stormy outside, the storm is also, there is no outside and inside. This is how we are educated to see that there's outside and inside. There is nothing like this. There is a storm, and it's stormy. And this is what there is, but the storm is not yours. And you are not stormy. There's just storming. But since we are empty, it moves. Let's say, if you were, we live next to the sea. Okay, now it is a bit summer, but in the winter you can see, when you look at the sea, sometimes you notice that the clouds are moving from the west with the wind. There's a wind coming and brings the clouds, and in farther above the bay, you see suddenly the clouds are pouring rain. And they're pouring rain in such a way that it looks like chimney. There's a cloud, there's a pouring rain, but from far it looks like this column of rain looks like chimney, and we find this word chimneys in the story of the flood. I don't know how it is translated to English. The chimney of the skies are open, there's like water coming from above and below, and so I don't know if the English or any other language translate it as chimneys, but it's specifically when you see this. And if you look, before the wind came, it's just emptiness, just air. And suddenly there's appearance of clouds and there's appearance of rain. Yes? We are the same as this empty air above the sea. Do you understand? We are this emptiness. And sometimes comes a storm or clouds or rain. We are not any different. Our eyes gives us all the times a false information of duality. Once the eyes are open, there's a linear connection. Yes, the eyes are capable, Shabbat Shalom, Abigail. The eyes are giving us what? A linear information all the time. People look in the mirror, yes, and they think that if they look in the mirror, what the reflection that they see is themselves. Or they look in the river or in the water, but it's not. It is not. Some people develop like, not because of looking in the mirror, but from other reasons. But when they look in the mirror, it creates in them a sense of the reflection is themselves, and they starve themselves. And there's all kinds of situations are related to looking in the mirror and believing that what you see in the mirror is yourself or expression of. It has nothing to do. The reflection is a product. The reflection in the mirror, or the body that people think that they dress and they feed and they clean, is a product. We were told that we were born. And this product has a name and a story. Yes? But it's not who we are. This is, in a way, false identity. If I would send you now, yes, to be spies somewhere, you would probably get a name and some kind of a story and identity. And probably you would color your hair, change the way you dress to fit this figurine or the figure of spy that you're playing. Yes? But this is not who you are. This is not your true nature. You're just acting. You can ask why each and every one of us has a private name. That he can or she can act upon this name, like actor on stage. There's a priest, there's a teacher, there's a family, there's a Paul and Peter and Mary and Josephine, and each one has his or her own voice, and each one has the ability to act like instruments, yes, in the orchestra. But this is not who we are. If you notice that anger rises, or fear rises, or resent rises, it's not yours. It's not ours. This is what the brain claims and will announce. You are angry. Yes? You are tired. You are exhausted. No. No, the brain will always what? Split and negate. Split and negate. So there's like tiring. Yes? No, but the brain will say, as a good lawyer or as a bad one, you are tired. You should be refreshed now. There is just certain moment of just you want to close your eyes, and the brain said, no, you can never rest. You're supposed to do A, B, C, D. This is what the brain does. It's a great dictator. And through the lens that the brain does, the life will always will look narrow and pointless and with suffering and with no hope. This is the axis. This is the narrative that the brain will go and offer us. Everything is so beautiful. As life come in the moment. But the brain will always say, no, it should have been A, B, C, D. And the brain will always offer you those narrative, or us the narrative that you are helpless, you are a victim of the circumstances, and you cannot do nothing about it. You don't have any alternative. So you don't need, let's say, a boss or a manager that will tell you to work harder, to work smarter. This is already inherited inside. You always find those slogans, work smarter, not harder. Da, 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 da. This is what the brain already does naturally. But, and this is the great news, that we are not our brains. Again, we are not our brains. The brain is an animal, but we are not our brains. There's a brain, it has mechanical activity, it's very fast, but it's not who we are. The brain, in a way, expresses itself on the space, so to speak, of matrix. Yes, he's a great dictator about this domain called space and time. The brain does not exist, yes, outside space and time. It gets its vitality from the infinite. But he claims, yes, that he owns this ability to generate life. Do you understand that? And even if not, it's also okay. The brain will tell you all the time you're not good architect, or you're not a good teacher, or you're not a good musician, or you're not a good doctor, whatever. You don't make enough money, you're not friendly, you're doomed to be alone in your misery. This is all of those sayings, those are the sayings of the brain. Whatever message comes from the brain, it is always to, how do you say, to spindle, to stab. It's never soft. It's never loving. It's always conditional. Whatever the brain tells you, it's always conditions. It's every saying of the brain is under the lens of conditions. So you can detect it. And it's not yours. It's very simple. It's not who we are. Yes, Felipe, Shabbat Shalom.
Hello, Eti. Shabbat Shalom.
How do you do?
I'm fine, Eti. Thanks. I'm happy to hear you. I'm in a walk, uh, just walking a bit here. It's a bit cold, and I'm with hands with my little daughter Aurora, and it's a pleasant moment, Eti. Uh, I was just thinking uh, about a question, Eti.
Yes.
Uh, we speak about the brain and the heart. And I was just thinking that those messages from the brain, they are often and mostly, always, let's say, as you were speaking, um, kind of narrow. They keep us in a narrow place.
Yes.
And how could we approach when we think about the messages we receive from our heart? Is there something that we could think of it differently as the messages we get from the brain? Can we perceive any messages that we receive from the heart? Do you think something about it?
Yes, it's
Thank you.
interesting. It's a beautiful question. Yes, what comes from the brain is always like a condition. Condition is made of two. And what comes from the heart is this is like presence. Yes. So there is no negation. There is no polarization. It's not two. It's not two. Whatever dish the brain will offer us is a dualistic dish. It's of conditions. Yes? But the heart just it's just being. Yes? It has no conditions. This is unconditional love that it doesn't come. Why people say this even expression in English, unconditional love. Yes, unconditional love. It's unconditional. Condition is made of two. It's unconditional, non. Yes, you understand? It's unconditional. It's not of two. It is interesting that the word for condition in Hebrew, condition in Hebrew is two. The word condition, t'nai, like in English, listen, t'nai, condition, t'nai, two. It's like, yes, t'nai. T'nai is a condition. Condition is two. So we say in English, unconditional love. Not two. This is love, not two. This is the meaning of love, not two. People speak about friendship. This is a beautiful thing. You say me and my friend. No, it's not me and me. Yes, me and my friend. It's not me and my friend. It's not two. It's just this emptiness, yes, that we share together. It's non two. It's not me and my friend or my friend and me. It's non two. This is love. What the brain will offer is always, it doesn't matter in which dimension, it is always the plate of duality. Whether it's the first dish, the second dish, how do you say the dish you offer at the end, dessert, yes, it's always of two, whatever, in any weather, in any season, yes, in any hour. The brain will offer its plate. Its plate is the plate of duality. Yes? But the heart does not know too. Yes? The heart does not know too. This is when you feel that you love someone, you don't feel any walls. Regardless of who or whatever the name they have or where they live in your life, in which continent, you don't feel any walls, fences, separators. It does not exist because there is no two. When there's two already, there's an interference of the brain. Yesterday, I heard a toddler. Hey, Cindy, you have a new avatar. So, toddler already was saying yesterday, Ani, 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 3 times. And you see, they develop between 2 and 3. I did not see, but I heard. The brain has its own perception. And the perception that this child is carrying, or any other child, is a sense of separation. There is me and the world. And what I want from the world. And the world does not give me what I want, therefore I'll cry. But what if we are the world? It just destroys the animosity, all the diseases. Yes, there aren't two. There is no me and the world. There is a sense that people come with, I need to protect, yes, from the sun, not to melt in 50 degrees Celsius, that's for sure. Try to find a shadow spot. Yeah. But infinite does not need protection. Infinite, or us, does not need a cover story. Yes? Or backup story. There isn't any story, and there's great happiness because there isn't any background or backstory. There isn't. Each one that is present here was told that he or she were born somewhere. Yes? He got this message, or he was told, or she was told that he was born in such a day, in such a year, when such event happened, or such a flower bloom, and starts a narration, like we speak about the cotton candy. Yes, somebody's weaving now a story about a child that was born in the moon, in the months when the moon was blue and this flower was blooming, and there's a story already. And when the brain of the child is about 2 or 3, it started to catch this story and yes, and weave, of course, the name that this child has, and people are calling him his name in his name or her name, and they learn to respond. They learn to respond to the name. Whoop, John, up, he's responding. Somebody called me. Somebody says John, and I have to respond. This is it. This is it. Once there is a response for the name, there you have it. So there's a response. Somebody says your name, or it doesn't have to be your private name. Like in coffee house, sometimes they read the names of the people who ordered coffee, and they have similar name, and suddenly all the people that their name is John are turning their head. Because the brain claimed this name belongs to this body, and there you have it. And what if we don't have names? And what if we never been born? So there's no struggles. And there's no family. This story about the family is a narration. Narration that is pushing very, very hard. And at certain point becomes so heavy that it's unbearable to live with. Because this child that now is 2 or 3 years old, so he see those people around him as like trees, but he will grow up and he will have to drag this story, which is not true. And it becomes heavy at some point. And it doesn't fit life, because life is constant movement, and the story wants to remain as a statue. Yes. Name and form are similar. In what way? If there's a name, we believe that we can grasp it or say it. And when there's a saying or pronunciation of the name, we know it, we own it, we claim it. In the same manner, form. You don't need to carry this story. It's heavy. And at some point, the tree just shades every autumn the leaves that are already yellow and brown and burned, which are not fresh and green. This is a natural process. So why to carry this? The tree does not carry it around it. The story that we believe that it's ours or made us what we are is just a wall around us. It's just a wall of there is. Yes? There is like an entity. In Hebrew, there is, we say yesh, yesh, and yeshut is entity. So the story, we believe that the story is like walls. We believe that the story around us or about us is a castle or a fortress, but it's not. And this castle in the beginning protects, so to speak, or we believe that protects us and gives us fortification to walk in life. But it's also a jail. It's not true. It's just a story. The fact that the brain repeats inside about those details emphasize the fact that those invented details are true story, but are not. There is no fortress around us. Our bodies, not our bodies, the bodies that we believe that are ours are just appearing and disappearing. And all what there is emptiness. And with emptiness, there is no grudge because it's empty. Grudge is there something inside, like an entity, negative sentiment of something, but if there's nothing inside, what do you have to carry around you? Nobody here needs a cover story. Nobody here needs a backup story. Nobody here needs a name. Nobody here never born and therefore will never die. But the brain, and this is the question that Felipe was asking before, the brain will always tell, like this friend in university. The brain will always be there to serve as a duality dish. And this is what she said. I'm bringing this as an example of it. It's not the one who speaks. This is what comes through someone. This is just to share with you. She said she would like to be, or in her mind, she sees herself mother for 5 or of 5 children when she will be 29. This is what the brains offer her, and she eats it, and this is what happened. This is if people think that marathon in the Olympic is something almost unachievable to run 42 kilometers is also to be in the age of 21, not yet married, and to run a marathon, to arrive to 29 with 5 children. Because this is what the brain does all the time, offers us a target which is not at the moment, it's in the future. And this is the story about the egg. The brain will always break and split it into two. The brain, whatever happens, will point at the past or at the future. This is what I say non-duality, not the past and not the future, only now. There's only now, and it's eternal. There isn't any goal, there isn't any target, there is not any destination we supposed to arrive to. We don't need to arrive. We're here. We're here. Any questions? So if you feel there's a conflict, there's a storm, there's a push, it probably comes from the brain. This mechanical activity. This is what it does. This machine always break and negates, break into two, splits and negates. Yes, this is the tree of knowledge. Break and negates, break and negates, break and negates, break and negates, in and out. Blah, blah, blah. Yeah. But the heart, yes, the heart does not feel this separation. When you feel negativity or struggle or any kind of condition or stress or animosity or anxiety, name it. There are many, many, many names and dresses. It probably comes from the brain, and this is a mechanical activity. It's a machine. So, but it has nothing to do with our true nature. Our true nature is unconditional. Never been born, therefore will never die. Thank you so much for being here with us today. Wishing you a very good month and hope to see you soon here on Monday at the same time. Thank you, Abigail, Cindy, Jill, Yanis, Patricia, Felipe, Aurora. Happy good season to all. Shabbat Shalom. וחודש טוב.
Thank you, Yachi.